I told you before about the ABC's least busy television presenter and his disdain for the drug hydroxychloroquine. Paul Barry is a bit of a publicly funded Trump derangement syndrome obsessive, and he also has a fair dose of Murdochophobia as well, so he uses the trials of this drug to attack both Trump and this station.
The disappointing news for some media boosters that a drug touted as a potential cure or treatment for COVID-19 does not appear to work and can have serious side effects. And all this is big news in America because only last month President Trump was trumpeting hydroxychloroquine as possibly one of the biggest game changers in the history of medicine. Sky News in Australia jumped to the president's defence, citing Trump derangement syndrome.
The Media Watch host has also taken to Twitter. He says trumpeting research and articles, dismissing the drug and also gloating about how it might not save lives, if you can get your head around that. But then having to tweet again when one of those articles was withdrawn because it was based on incorrect science. His media anti-boosterism was caught out. I've detailed in The Australian and on this station previously, with documentary evidence, how Paul Barry and Media Watch have deliberately withheld information from the public in order to discredit the drug and mislead people about what we've been saying on this station. He failed to report, for instance, that 2 globally significant trials of hydroxychloroquine have been underway in Australia for months through the University of Queensland and at Melbourne's esteemed Walter and Eliza Hall Institute. Barry has also failed to share information sent to him by the Pharmaceutical Society of Australia about how the drug was being heavily prescribed in Australia. Paul Barry is the highest paid person on Australian TV per minute on air, pocketing more than $200,000 a year for 15 minutes a week, yet he won't level with the public. This week, The Australian reported how the Melbourne trial is proceeding well and how there are great sacrifices being made by people involved in it, and there are hopes that hydroxychloroquine can work as a protection against infection. It's hard to comprehend how anyone could be so partisan that they want trials like this to fail just so they can mock Trump, I think. And it's beyond the pale that taxpayers give Paul Barry $200,000 a year to get the facts right. And this week, he got a pay rise and he still hasn't shared this information with his audience. Instead of him sharing the real facts about this drug and the trials, we get misinformation. And he fills in his day with stuff like this.
I'm Paul Barry. Welcome to Media Bites. And let's get into the ring.
It's amazing that taxpayers pay millions of dollars annually for his ideological, inaccurate and silly program. And in the greatest of all ironies, they call it Media Watch.